Good morning, all of you. Today I'm going to present the uh, paper on conflict in tourism case study of Parasnath. Parasnath is a small religious town in the state of Jharkhand, which is around 250 kilometers from Patna. The place was recently very in conflict because the local tribal people opposed being developed it as a tourist site, and also the Jain community. So it has a conflict with the Jain community and the local tribal people. So land is a precious, scarce and limited. It represents territorial on the extents of anyone's power. The conflicting among individuals and among neighboring nations is because of the land dispute. We see that most of the disputes are because of the land. Parasnath Hills are in the Giridih district of Jharkhand state in India. The Jain community had built temples and tonks on the hills and is among the most pious religious sites for them. The hills are wildlife sanctuaries and a tourist development proposal was in pipeline. The Jain community opposed the move, citing the reason of their religious reservations. Jain community refrain from liquor and are pure vegetarian for their food choice. Meanwhile, the aboriginal community, the Adivasis, too claimed over the hills of the Parasnath. This paper examines the triangular conflict on the hills of Parasnath and suggests the measures for conflict resolution. So this is the map of Parasnath. It's a hillock town, and a National Highway 19 passes close to that hill town. Sense of attachment, sacralization, and emotional connection within a place makes it a sacred place. It could be a home or a religious place of worship. Sacred places are often associated with religious fervor. Birthplaces, places of attainment, and places related to death are pious for the followers of a particular faith. Conflict occurs when two faith clashes at one point at a space frame. The dominance and the supremacy are often visible at several locations. We see in Jerusalem, Hagia Sophia, Ayodhya, and recently Parasnath in Jharkhand are examples of conflict at religious places. Some studies proclaim that religious facilitates peace building, reconciliation, and healing. Others argues that religion exacerbates hostility, instigates vengeance-seeking behavior, and heightens conflict. Conflict occurs when people living believe they are different from others, and their religious affiliation does not allow perseverance for tolerance. While every religion teaches peace and harmony with religious tolerance is at lowest in every society. Militancy and irritable blood violence has penetrated every faith in the name of protection of religions. So we see that all the religions, although they practice peace and prosperity, they are always insert some sort of conflict or other. So the Jains are among the earliest religion in India, with Lord Rishabh as first Tirthankar, Lord Mahavira as 24th Tirthankar. So this particular place of Parasnath is very holy for the Jains, as many Jain dharamsalas are established there. There are very many tongs on the hills of the Parasnath, and Adivasis too reside here without any conflict since ages. But some decisions by the state government has created some sort of disturbances in the region, with conflict arising of the Jain community and the Adivasis. So the religious teaching of Jainism is as listed below, that is the soul, jeev, non-soul, ajiva, legitimate, punya and sin. So these are some of the philosophies of religion. Jain temples are very often located on hilltops. Jal Mandir is the characteristic feature of many Jain temples. The temple is located in the center of water body and a pathway lead to the temple Pavapuri. Jain temple is such an example. Jains are peace-loving business community with a large concentration in Gujarat and Rajasthan. Temples have intricate carvings and are made of white marble stones. Some of the Jain temples, like at Mount Abu Dilwara temple, are some of the finest example of intricate marble carvings. At Parasnath also there are some of the Jain temples which have the marble carvings and are very delicately done in the marble work. So this is the map of the Shikharji Giridih, or the tonks are located on the hilltop, and the trekking takes full day trip. The trekking starts early in the morning at 2 a.m. in the night and continues for the full day. So the religious community take a trekking of the hills of Parasnath, and these are facilitated by the palki. Those who are old, those who cannot travel to the hilltops, palki are available, and all these palki men, those who carry this palki, are the tribal people of the Jharkhand. So there is a coexistence and peaceful living between the Jain community and the local tribal people. So the conflict arises when there is a third intervention, when the government wish to make it as a tourist location. So a recent, this is the picture of a recent boarding put by the tribal community, which says that this is their ancient hill and they are associated with this hill, and they should not be only reserved for the Jain community. So they have put a boarding there. When we examine the hill of the Parasnath, we see that there are temples, there are tonks, small structures, there are barracks for CRPF for security. So a new CRPF camp established there when there is a heightened political disturbance on the hills. There is also a telecom tower, there is a helipad, and there are toilet blocks on the trekking path. And also there are food stalls for the trekkers, those who want to have the tea or coffee or the Maggie or something light food they have on the path. These all are operated by the local tribal people. Several vernacular structures like mercantiles, they are all locally made. They are not hard structures, they are not permanent structures, but are very well crafted structures in vernacular style that caters to the needs of the travelers. Recently, all the electric light poles have been removed from the forest trekking route for benefit of birds and animals. So people have to carry the torches or the mobile lights while they are on the trekking path. So this is the scenic beauty of the Parasnath Hills, where the pathways have been made, and these are the pathways through which the trekkers climb. So the conflict resolution has to be approached because both the peaceful community must resort to a coexistence of both the communities, because the pilgrimage and the tourists provide the livelihood for the local peoples, the local tribals. So the conflict at Parasnath is between religious and the ethnic community. Both communities are compatible with each other. Interestingly, the three stakeholders that are in picture are the Jain community, the Adivasi community, and the Forest Department of Jharkhand. The Forest Department will play a major role in conflict resolution, acting as bridge between both the community and preserving the ecology of the region. Restrictions on built environment on the hills, abstinence from liquor and non-vegetarian around the Parasnath regions, including the Tehalti at Madhuban, and a joint committee for the establishment of peace may be formed. Parasnath Hills should not be utilized for adventure and sports tourism. It should be restricted to religious tourism. So these are the ways through which the conflict resolution can be provided. In the conclusion, I would say that the coexistence is the characteristic of Indian culture, which was distracted by Western invasion from Persia. Peace must be established with respect and religious tolerance among each similar faith. Religious places must not be clubbed with adventure tourism, and limited permits may be allotted for ecotourism, which is in harmony with existing faith. Adivasis should consider Jain as their own brothers and sisters with same inheritance, and should feel proud of hills launching temples and tonks. Thank you so much.